What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports Underdog Best Ball Show. And if you haven't checked it out yet, Title and myself did a preview show last week announcing the partnership that we have with Underdog Fantasy. If you're not a member over at Underdog, get over there. Use the link in the description here or use promo code RUNPURE. You'll get a $100 deposit match on your first deposit. A lot of fun over there right now with the playoffs, NFL playoffs about to start, some big contests. They're filling up quickly, so you want to get over there and get in. So this show's going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to get into the meat and potatoes and do a draft, and I'm excited for it. And I got my two guys on here, Title, CDome. CDome, what's going on, man? How deep are you into these best ball playoff streets so far?
Yeah, no, we were talking right before the show. I think I've done like probably 35, 40 lineups so far. So I'm having right now. I think I'm all in on the Bills to win the Super Bowl. So I just got to keep going with the different combos with that. But no, I'm excited to do this with you guys and do a draft. This is going to be quite interesting because the underdog is so different from DraftKings, man.
Yeah. So if you're playing best ball on both sites, it's a little bit different on DraftKings versus Underdog. Underdog has a more condensed roster and shorter number of rounds. So it's a lot easier and quicker to get through those drafts than over on DraftKings. Our guy Title took down the $250,000 in the regular season best ball streets, is on again. And as I said, we did that preview show last week, kind of breaking down general strategy. Today we're diving into a draft. It's going to be a lot of fun. Title, some initial thoughts here on the Underdog best ball playoff contest.
Yeah, they're big. The first gauntlet on Underdog already sold out, so the gauntlet 2 is now up. Pretty much the same amount of people in it. Still $25, $200K up top on this one. Yeah, I mean, playoff best ball, just best ball in general is absolutely blowing up these past couple of years. This year was massive. Playoffs contest, you can see how many people want in. There's a huge edge on it too. Their strategy. If you haven't watched the video Hoop and I did a couple days ago, late last week, definitely check that out. We were guessing on who was going to win, like the 7 seed and 5 seed and stuff like that. We got the Jags home. We thought they were very good value last time. That got home. Barely is right. Packers, on the other hand, did not get through. It's the Seahawks. I have no interest in the Seahawks now, but any Packers you drafted, I had some Aaron Jones. Like, that's dead. And then the 7 seed, the Dolphins squeaked in, but I'm not worried about the Dolphins either. So
tough spot for the Dolphins. I mean, the Bills have everything going in their favor right now. If you missed the preview video, here is a short little explanation of how Underdog Best Ball works. Absolutely love the Underdog product, the best balls and stuff, but damn, they could change the music in that promo. That music that was not enjoyable. They definitely need to switch up that music a little bit. But the product's great for sure. The product is absolutely phenomenal. Title, you said the first gauntlet already filled, right? And what was the top prize for that?
I want to say 100K. I can actually look at because I got some drafts in on that one. And then some in on the gauntlet too. What you're talking, I'll figure it out though.
So they released number 2, right? And that is what is it? 100 up top again, or
no? This one's 200,000 up top, 75K to second. That's what I'm. So maybe the first one was $20. I got to figure this out.
I did either way. So here we have another little promo clip. Imagine that from Underdog. Maybe the music's a little bit different in this one, but it explains the gauntlet. And I'm assuming if this is for the first one.
Before you do it, I found it. This one was still $25. That one, 100K up to first. Second place is 35K. So I was right. The second one must be way more top heavy. It looks like pretty much the same amount of people, same price, still $1 million in prizes. Maybe there's a couple more in the second one, but yeah, I mean, the second one's even bigger than the first one for up top for sure.
Okay, let's see what this video has in store for us. Same music, unfortunately, but different information title. Just explain how it works getting through each round. I know they put you in pods to start, and just give a quick explanation of that, and then we'll dive into one of these drafts.
Yeah, so we talked again on the previous show a bit, but Underdog, there's 10 rounds. There's 6 people in a pod. You'll see it when we go live. CDome will hop in there. Nate Defy might hop in, it looks like. But so 6 people, 1 person advances in the gauntlet on Underdog. That's important. 1 out of the 6 move on from the first round. Then the second round in the playoffs, 1 person out of 6 again moves on. Third round, I believe it's 1 out of 8. And then the championship rounds, it's a 6-man draft, the snake draft as usual. The strategy, the most basic strategy we'll be talking about, you have to pick Super Bowl team on the AFC, Super Bowl team on the NFC. You need to be able to fill 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 2 wide receivers / tight ends, and then a flex in a Super Bowl matchup. So you can't go all in on NFC's teams, multiple NFC teams. Can't go all in on multiple AFC teams. The Chiefs and the Eagles have a first round bye, so they will not, their points won't count in round 1, which is important because only 1 person advances out of 6 pods. If you're playing the Chiefs early or you're getting Eagles early, you have to make sure that you still have a strong enough team that can get out of the first round with them getting zeros to then move on. So it's easier to do on other sites. And the mitten we talked about, the $5 one where 2 people advance out of 6 people, it's easier to draft Eagles and Chiefs there. But again, they'll be lower owned in the gauntlet when you do move them on because it's really hard to. So that's the basic strategy. We're going to be going through the draft. I'm going to see where the draft goes, what comes to you. You need NFC teams. You get like Vikings you can get late. You need AFC teams, Jags late. Just got to play who's the NFC team, who's AFC team, be live in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, the drafts are pretty dynamic. I mean, you get in and, based on your first couple picks, it kind of leads you to the direction that you want to go. However, things can go awry. If someone in your draft starts to, go ahead and pick up your dudes or try to stack your team, you have to make that pivot. And that's very important. That's one thing I've realized. CDome, just thoughts on that, going into these drafts, your first couple picks, you think you're going one direction, then you have to make your pivot. I personally think the best way to go about that is pick up these teams that you can get late. Yeah, you're going to lose some overall win equity if you end up having to stack the Jags or the Vikings or the Giants, but you have to make that pivot. You don't want a scattered team that doesn't have a chance to have Super Bowl pieces. So, CDome, just talk to me about this strategy when you have to kind of make that pivot in some of these drafts.
Yeah, I think first, Tyler made a good point. I don't think people are aware that you don't have your team for the whole playoffs. There's a lot of people that are like go into this, they're drafting a ton of Eagles, a ton of Chiefs because they think that that's the Super Bowl combination. I mean, that's just not optimal. It's just not going to get you anywhere as far as progression. So that's just one thing to like make sure you keep in mind when you're doing this. And then, yeah, I think the biggest thing is if you have a situation where you're like the 2nd pick or the 5th pick, and then you have that snake situation and you want a guy, but you don't think that guy's going to take him because he has a different roster construction, it's typically not the case, right? Like, for example, you have Allen and then you're looking at McKenzie and you're like, oh, well, I'll get him on the way back. Just you can go ahead and get McKenzie and then figure out who you would get after him, with that next pick. So it's just very important to know that just because like you have a certain way that you want to go doesn't mean that that's the actual course of action. So sometimes you have to reach, you have to kind of maybe take a guy, a round ahead, and that's just based on the correlation for your roster construction. So, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and Landa brings up, our guy Landa in the chat brings up a good point. He goes, a lot of times people aren't necessarily trying to block you. They just don't understand the format. So they're taking just the best available player, and that ends up screwing you. And that's going to happen for sure. I mean, most of the times where you end up getting screwed is because people just don't necessarily understand the format. They're just taking best available player. Now, those teams are likely dead to win it all, but they can definitely screw you from advancing in that first round. And it's a very dynamic game here, this playoff draft stuff, because you got to think, again, really good point about the Chiefs and Eagles. I mean, you're in a pod of 6 guys, 6 different teams. You have to advance out of that pod. One team advances, right? Is it one team title, right? Just one team.
And for the gauntlet, yes. For the mitten, it's 2. That's why the 5.
Yeah.
You have to know what you're playing. But the gauntlet,
Correct.
the big one, the draft we're going to be doing, only one team advances.
Yeah. So I mean, looking at it, it is going to be hard to get a Chiefs stack to advance out of that first round. And I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to kind of bank on not drafting a lot of Chiefs. I haven't so far, just because, man, not only do you have to get your team through, then you definitely need the Chiefs to make the Super Bowl at that point. Like, they have to make it to the Super Bowl. You're just drawn thin. Could it happen? Yeah, but it's not very likely, in my opinion. So drafting Chiefs and Eagles, pretty difficult. And a lot of people don't understand the format, and they're just taking Mahomes, like, right out of the gate, or taking like Jalen Hurts, which, again, it could work out. Maybe they have a strategy, but it's going to be difficult to advance out of a pod of 6 when your first couple picks are guys not playing in the first round of games. So, Title, why don't you go ahead and try to find us a draft here? And when you do, let me know, and we'll pull it up here on the screen share. Randone, are you going to try to get in as well?
Yeah, just let me know when you want me to just enter. I mean, I'm on the homepage right now.
Okay. So you guys try to coordinate that in terms of getting in the same draft. It'll be cool. If not, we'll just get one in there and we can kind of talk through it as we go.
I'm going to have to quit and reopen this. Hopefully
That's fine.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to.
Yeah, go ahead. We can talk
I'll
some more.
I'll just say for like the Chiefs perspective, I'm actually doing like a draft on DraftKings on this monitor right now.
Yeah.
The ancillary pieces are probably just a bit better, right? Like,
Actually, I think those should be good.
The Quez Watkins, the Justin Watsons, the Valdez Scantlings, the Gainwells, like, those are pieces I think that make a lot more sense
I gotta restart.
when you want a piece of like teams that are not playing in the first round. So, because let's just say you have like a Tyler Lockett in the first round, because I think I think he's in a good spot, him and Metcalf, but no one really wants the Seahawks.
They're not likely to advance. You're going to get them for one round. And those are guys that I think are great to get if you are going Chiefs or Eagles where they're not playing, because you can get Lockett and Metcalf relatively late. They're playing in the first round, not likely to advance. Right.
And so then you're like, okay, well, I know that they'll at least play the first round, but now I'm going to hedge myself and replace them with like a Scantling or a Mecole Hardman, whoever's on those two teams. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't really know the true passing game outside of just how dominant Mahomes is, but he spreads it around to everyone. So it could just so happen that, Justin Watson ends up having, 4 catches for 50 yards or something in a touchdown. And that'll put you into probably into the third round.
Yeah. And, with the Chiefs, they mix it up in the playoffs. They come in with a different game plan than in the regular season. And guys you think are the guys they're going to go to in the playoffs aren't necessarily the case. So getting exposure to those guys late, I think, makes a ton of sense for sure. Good to go, Title?
Can you see it?
Not yet.
Nothing's popping up. Randone, you try.
Let me see.
It says
Maybe I
present
got
on the bottom of the screen because it's saying Chrome has lost permission to capture. To fix it, go. I mean, I already have saying leave site again.
Okay, so what am I doing? Should I bring my underdog over here and then
hit Underdog?
You just need to have Underdog up on your thing, and then if you go to present and then share screen, it'll present your whole screen. Somehow Chrome is
it's not allowing Title to present.
It's saying like I have to restart, and that's why I just jumped out.
Okay.
Somehow it didn't.
Yeah, we'll get something going. All right, there we go. I think
Title's
at the bottom, so you just got to pull the Underdog to
I'll just click on the best,
to the other screen.
Right
here? Perfect. There we go. All right,
Randone's got it.
There we go. What a champ!
Okay.
All right, so we're in a draft, right?
I'm in 2 now.
You're on. Nice. All right, so we got some options here. Perfect. All
so
right,
2 people. If anyone
well.
wants to hop in, I'm glad Randone can figure this out
quickly. If you want in, get in quickly.
I got the. I thought I had the first pick.
No, not yet.
Damn.
They haven't done the. All right, let's see. So we are in spot 5 and Title's in 6. So not gonna get any Bills. Not gonna get
no fan in here. Sweet Boy, we got Sweet Boy in here. He's our RPS guy. Sweet Boy's in here.
Nice.
No fan. He's sharp. Good draft.
Oh yeah, some competition in there to see what we can get.
Well, the thing is, you actually want to draft with sharp people in this, which is opposite of normal best ball, because they
You
will
can get your
go
stacks.
with their teams. Yeah, they won't be jumping across the board everywhere as mainly. So it's actually contrary to what people think and usual stuff. Sharp people is fun to draft with.
So crazy how different Underdog is from DraftKings in this format. It's just wild.
Yeah, big difference.
And drafters is completely different too. So depending on where you guys play, definitely make sure to read the rules, and you can find big, just like drafters for compared to Underdog and DK for season long, the total points. Like there's different strategy to all that stuff.
All right. Sweet Boy, our guy Sweet Boy is on the clock. He must be grinding out these drafts. Sweet Boy is he's a sharp grinder for sure.
Do you play Underdog
Josh
heavy?
Allen goes number one.
Underdog what?
Do you play Underdog heavy?
Yeah, I usually max. I always max the season long one. We'll see. I've been a lot going on right now. It's tough to get all 150 in, but these are easier than the DK ones for sure. It's.
No, I just started getting into Underdog, so I'm it's relatively new for me.
Yeah.
So we got Josh Allen, McCaffrey 1 and 2, pretty standard in all these drafts, all formats here. DK. So this is So Patrick Mahomes goes 3, and I don't know. When I'm in the 3 hole, I typically have not been taking Mahomes. What about you guys?
I'm fading pretty much the Chiefs. I like the Eagles. I think Eagles have a good shot. I think there's so many AFC teams, and even if you go Mahomes, you can't get Kelsey. It's just really hard to stack them. Yeah. So
then Hurts goes 4. I think that's good for 5 and 6 hole drafters. I think that's perfect.
So for me, it's hard for me to go Mahomes or Hurts here. So I'm gonna go a stud and a guy that I know is just gonna get volume and is also in a great matchup. And this is the team I think is gonna go to the Super Bowl. So I'm drafting Stephon Diggs here.
And then Title's taking his pants off and peeling because he can go Burrow and Chase, which I'm assuming you're gonna do, right?
Of course.
That's elite. That's an elite start.
So what's interesting about that is because, I'm probably giving him that correlation, but I know if I go Burrow or if I go Chase, I've done it a couple times. That 6 spot usually takes the other piece away from me.
Yeah. You're not getting the stack.
I'm not getting the stack. So for me, and rather being tilted, I'd rather go Chase because then I come back around and I want my other guy because I feel like this is a huge optimal play in the first round of Underdog. It's just 2 high volume stud riders.
Click it.
So
he barely got it at the buzzer. And I do think
you better click that.
With about half a second to go.
I'm doing a DraftKings best ball, and I'm doing both of them at the same time. I'm like, damn, this is all my bad.
No, you're good. I was making. You almost got Kelsey.
Yeah, you almost got Kelsey for sure. See, now Knowles fan is going to get Kelsey, I guarantee, because he took Mahomes, and it's going to be tough, man. That start.
I like that start though. If you could guarantee me Mahomes, Kelsey, I would ride with it and figure it out.
I'm fine with that, but what percent chance does that team have advancing out of the first round? I mean, you got to do it. Yeah. Here's what I'll say: if you're doing that, you have to do it a ton in these drafts with different combinations. Because
my problem with it is a lot of the time Kelsey's not even there at 10. So then you went Mahomes, and then what?
And then what? Yeah.
Exactly. That's the scary. If you could guarantee me those two, I mean, I'll take. It's hard to move on for sure, but when it does move on, it's going to be way lower owned than people think too. But it's just, it's hard.
I do like the Jefferson play. He's going a little later than you'd typically imagine in these drafts. NFC to me is wide open. Do I think the Vikings are good? No, but I wouldn't be shocked if anyone made a run in the NFC. So I do like the Jefferson picks.
I just think I think they beat the Giants, right? And so if I get 2 weeks of Justin Jefferson, I mean, that's huge for me. I'll figure it out in other areas, but I mean, that's just so much upside, especially if I have Diggs as well. So that's just kind of my thought process, just initially.
Got Kittle, Gabe Davis, Austin Eckler. The Eckler play is interesting. I mean,
a lot of people think Chargers go far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sold on them.
I mean, they're only 1-point favorites over Jacksonville. Yeah. Jacksonville's much cheaper on Underdog.
Gabe Davis, then Mixon just went. CDome is on the clock.
So this is what I talked about, right? I don't know what Title's going to do here. I already know he has a quarterback, but he could easily fucking, come out of nowhere right now and go 2, which definitely happens. But I'm going with Brock Purdy. On the NFC side, I feel like, 49ers have a really legitimate shot. He's done well as far as just, he's thrown 2 touchdowns at least every single game. So that's the guy that I'm just going to kind of rock with, and hopefully he can take me to the ship.
And title falls into an ideal spot again. He can get T. Higgins, I'm assuming, with his Bengals
Yeah, I'm
stack.
debating the second one though, because Mixon got sniped 2 picks before. I need a running back to play. Like I like Scranders. I like Scranders, but he's not going to be. I mean, I like the Eagles, which is why I like Scranders. But Miles Sanders, that is. But then I like Pollard, but I don't like Dallas nearly as much as. Yeah, I'm just going to go.
Miles Sanders. All right. So you only need to play one. Yeah, this is where it differs on Underdog compared to DraftKings, because DraftKings you have to play 2 guys, 2 running backs.
So now I'm going with the pairing of the correlation with the 49ers. Nice. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Loaded at wide receiver for sure. You got what, Diggs, Jefferson, and Ayuk.
Yeah, so I don't know about that Sanders pick. Is that what you're going to ask about, the Sanders pick?
Oh, yeah, just kind of getting your thoughts on that. I mean, we need to find a running back that's probably going to play week 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already telling myself I'm going to be drafting more than 1 running back. The only time I'll go 1 running back build is pretty much McCaffrey. I'm already saying on the AFC side, I think the Bengals make it. So I need 2 AFC teams. I can't get Mixon. The guy already took Mixon from me. So I'll take 2 NFC running backs that I'll have a chance that can win the Super Bowl. Eagles are the favorite. He won't count week 1. I'll draft someone that I think is elite enough that will make it to get me out around 1. And then from there, I mean, Eagles, Bengals, Super Bowl. If I can draw that up, I'm happy with that. So that's a thought. I mean, Eagles are the team of the NFC. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to go. I could have went Pollard, could have went Devontae Smith, could have went a lot of ways.
On DraftKings, you have to play quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end. So the strategy is much different, and it's very hard to get full on, 2 full on teams as the draft goes on. It can't happen. Much more difficult.
Yeah.
So we got Devonta Smith just went, Dalvin Cook, McKinnon, the last 3 picks. We got our guy Sweet Boy up.
The Sweet Boy's watching this. I'm giving all the strategy. He's sniping from me. Come on,
someone said like too early for Brock Purdy, but that's hard to say because I mean he has moved up significantly since this kind of format has started in the playoffs.
And you're getting a stack as well.
Well, you're getting a stack, but also you're getting a team that is really in a great spot that also is playing from the week 1 that has a great chance to make it to the Super Bowl. So, if I have studs everywhere else and he just gets me, 20, fantasy points, like I got to be okay with that. Like that's better than me rocking with maybe Justin Herbert, who maybe lasts a week or 2, or if I go down even more, Kirk Cousins for a week or 2. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with the team I feel like, has the best promising chance out of the conference.
Yeah. So we got Pollard, Keenan Allen, Juju, the last 3 picks. Knowles fan is up now. Devin Singletary is a guy that's going pretty high in drafts just because the chance for him to play every single round. I mean, is he great? No, but I kind of like if you can get him and James Cook in some of these drafts.
I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not player names don't matter nearly as much as like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you need all 4 rounds. You need the Super Bowl matchup. That's really all that matters.
Yep.
I mean, half the games this year, Singletary was in double-digit fantasy points. So, and
if he does that for 4 rounds, you're happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just my opinion, but I do feel like right now I'm going Singletary. I do like this spot to take Singletary. I do like the Bills coming out. Now I'm also starting to build, if you can see the double correlation with Buffalo and San Fran. So like this is a great spot for me.
Title
Saquon seems like the pick here for you.
For sure. And then I was debating a kind of a secondary one, but I mean it's gotta be Tyler Boyd to keep going with Cincy.
Yeah.
Nice. So now like it comes back to me. What I really love here is because you only truly need 1 running back essentially for scoring. I love pairing Singletary and Cook just in case if one of them gets hot, then the other. And then also if I feel like the Bills are going to go to the ship, one of them definitely is probably going to get there. So I'm going with the double correlation at running back and also kind of hedging myself too in the same sense.
I love that. I love that call. Getting Singletary and Cook, you get both of them. If one of them gets injured, you're absolutely golden. and one of them gets hot, you're absolutely golden. I think that's a really good play there. Love that. And now you're kind of cemented yourself, 49ers, Bills, Super Bowl. You're in good shape.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of how I've been rolling so far, like in my drafts, and especially because I've been able to get a lot of Allen shares. So Buffalo, man, I'm riding this hard. And what's crazy is that we go deeper in this draft. I mean, there's going to be a lot of players that, you only need for a round or two, like we talked about, like, Kenneth Walker, like Zay Jones, Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf. Like, you're not drafting these guys saying, oh, I need them to make the Super Bowl. You're drafting them saying, like, hey, I just need you for one round, especially if, you maybe go like a Kadarius Toney or just any Eagles, like let's talk about Title. Title has Miles Sanders. So if he wants to get like a Kenneth Walker for this round, because I mean, he's going to get the volume, and if he gets 20 carries, and he's going to pay off probably, and so then now that puts Tyler in a good spot, and then all of a sudden, if he gets kicked out, well, guess what? Now he replaces him with Miles Sanders for next week if he advances.
Like that. One other strategy I've kind of been employing with my Brock Purdy teams, which I like Brock Purdy. I like that the Niners is picking up another quarterback at some point, because it is likely in the first two rounds that maybe another quarterback does beat him in terms of scoring. Yes, if he gets all the way to Super Bowl, you're loving it. You're golden. I've been trying to get another quarterback just to maybe fill in for the first couple rounds, if possible, on my Purdy teams.
So now I'm in an interesting spot. There's a couple people I like. And so this is difficult, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go now with Isaiah Pacheco. And the reason being is because I want to solidify just 3 running backs. I'm done. And now I'm just going to focus on another wideout and another quarterback. But Pacheco also gives me the ability that, let's just say Buffalo and KC end up playing each other and San Fran makes it to the Super Bowl. Well, at least I have a piece of KC with Pacheco just in case they knock out Buffalo.
Title comes in with Zeke and Goddard. Want to talk about those picks?
Yeah, Goddard, I get paired with Miles Sanders. If it's Cincy, Philly, and I somehow get this team through, I got Burrow, Sanders, Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Goddard. Plenty of options there. Goddard's the second highest receiving score on the slate. That's going to be unique. I mean, there are a lot of ways to go with Philly, Cincy. And then Zeke. I can't play Miles Sanders round 1. It's an NFC running back. Just say it is Cincy, Dallas. I get Burrow quarterback, Zeke at running back. I can still get Chase, Higgins, and Boyd and fill out a roster that way. So another matchup I can get to.
And then CDome, you come in with, I'm assuming, a first-round filler, a guy that has a lot of upside that could help you advance in DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I mean, I took also DK Metcalf just in case, because I will be taking so what I'm going to do here is, I mean, if no one takes him, but I will take Geno Smith probably as my last pick. And that just gives me the ability to say, okay, if just in case San Fran does indeed lose, then I have Seattle now to at least advance to the next round. So it's kind of like I also want to hedge myself a little bit too. But I do like these Seattle receivers this weekend. I think, there's a lot of upside with him and Lockett. And so I think, they're both going to probably get 10 plus targets in a game that might play from behind. They're going to have to throw. And so, yeah, it's a 1-game filler, but it could turn into a potential 2-game if there's an upset.
Okay. Yeah, I like that mindset. Someone in the chat was saying Elijah Mitchell. Yeah, he just went, so he's out. See what else we have available. I mean, I've been getting a lot of Giants late in drafts. DraftKings obviously a little bit different, where you have the expanded rosters. You can get like a full second team or a full third team essentially if you play it right. What are we aiming for Title coming up here? Anything on your mind that you might need to fill in
after CDome drafts? No.
CDome's a nice guy. He won't block you, I promise.
Yeah, hold on, give me a sec. Running back's pretty set for me. I want to see them to draft first.
Yeah. Oh, I know who you want, but he won't take him. I promise you. I know who you have to get. He's not going to do it to you.
I mean, I know he wants Hayden Hurst.
Yeah. You do whatever you want.
I have no interest.
Yeah, you do whatever. Yeah, I mean, I want Hayden Hurst, obviously. And then I want to figure out. I think I want to just one off who's going to be one of the highest scoring wide receiver, tight ends to help me move like these Eagles past. Because I can go Gallup, but man, I don't know if.
Gosh, he's been bad.
That's what I mean. Like
I've been taking a lot of them though, but he's
because
been
right
bad.
now my third guy, like I would need. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go pure. Help me round one. I think that Zay Jones is the best option left. I mean, that should. I think it's a shootout there. Yeah, I think it is Zay Jones. So Zay Jones is just pure try and get me one of the higher scores in the first round. Get this Eagles team moving, and then give me Cincy. Cincy Eagles is the nut. Cincy Giants, I'm still alive. Cincy Dallas, I'm still alive. So I mean, that's all I can ask for.
And CDome, you're going Geno, just in
Yeah,
case.
so I went with Geno for my last pick. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but I took Valdez-Scantling prior, so I have to check on Scantling. If Buffalo plays KC in the finals, and then we have, San Fran.
Buffalo can't play KC.
They can't?
They're in the AFC. Are you not
no, in the
AFC Championship?
Okay. So if they both play each other, and then San Fran's still in there, then I have pieces from 3 teams in that mix, which I feel like that's 3 of the 4 teams that are going to be there essentially. So that's kind of like my mindset. And also I have the high upside with Justin Jefferson. So if Jefferson could just get me to at least the second round, I just think there's high upside there with that team.
So the way it works
Giants, Buffalo, KC. Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
NFL, they reseed, right, once the playoffs hit. So most likely it would be Bengals and Bills playing in the second round.
Yep, that's how winner that. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Chargers, Jags play Chiefs.
Yeah. All right, so the draft's rounding out here. We got Evan Ingram, Fournette, Daniel Jones, and then I think this is the last pick, I believe, by Sweet Boy. And then we'll take a look. Can we see the drafts? Let's see if we can pull that up.
Click on that Gauntlet 2 one. Go back, CDome. The Gauntlet 2, click that. Man, click
All right, so let's pull up. So CDome, your Niners, Bills, essentially with some Chiefs mixed in. Justin Jefferson.
Let's look here, and then we'll look at titles. So we got Brock Purdy and Geno, obviously 2 guys that are going against each other, and then Singletary, Cook, and Pacheco at running back, and then Diggs, Jefferson, Ayuk, Metcalf, Valdez-Scantling to round out the wideouts.
So really, I mean, your Niners, Bills, essentially. Let's pull up and see what title ended up with. He's got his Bengals stack worked in there. You have some Eagles, obviously, mixed in. So title's banking on Bengals, Eagles. And then we have some first.
I've banked all 3 running back teams because I don't have any Cincy, but I have Chase, Higgins, Boyd, and Hurst. And I can use 3 of those, any of those 3 at any single week for the Chiefs. If they play Philly, I got Sanders, Goddard. If they play the Giants, I got those 3 down there with Saquon as my running back. If they play Dallas, I got Zeke as the running back with those 3. So I have multiple outs, but Eagles, Cincy would be the most optimal for me.
Nice. Now let's pull up a couple. Let's pull up Sweet Boys and see what. Yeah, so it looks like he probably made a pivot. So went with Josh Allen. Couldn't get any Bills. He's got a couple Bills. It looks like he's got Knox down there. So he went Dallas. So yeah, Dallas Bills is what he'll be banking on.
Could get Dallas Chargers. Could get Dallas Chargers. So Dallas Chargers, Dallas Bills for Sweet Boy.
So 3 there. Dallas. Let's see. What's
crazy is I liked Dallas until I watched them play against Washington on Sunday.
I'm coming out with some Dallas, man. But yeah,
I have some Dallas. I have a good bit of Dallas.
I like them. I have a lot of Lamb, but I haven't stacked them as a team.
That's not bad, man. And people joke about I tweeted out every week because I made the statement like 4 weeks ago that the Cowboys aren't winning with Dak. They should go back to Cooper Rush. I freaking stand by it. Dak is awful. Like he is really bad. They are not winning anything with Dak at quarterback, but hopefully they win round 1 because I do have a lot of them in best ball.
Now let's see what Knowles fan got cooking.
Yeah, Knowles fan. So he went KC, Cousins, and then
Kelsey, Tony.
It's just, man, I look at these teams. That
team's tough. He needs Minnesota or Tampa. So he needs KC, Tampa, or Minnesota.
But you got to get out of the first round. How does he get out of the first round?
Well, let's see. Let's go through it. Dalvin and Cousins. That's fine.
Yeah.
Could be Fournette. Don't love that. Gabe Davis, Godwin, Hawkinson. Yeah, he went Waddles. That's how you do that team. I agree with.
But this team has like a 2% chance of advancing.
Well, let's see. Waddle can get one of the highest scores. Godwin can be one of the highest scores.
Yeah.
Hawkinson's shown it. Gabe Davis, Dalvin. I think that team's live. I really do.
Yeah,
I think he did the right one-offs late, like the Waddle, the Tyreek late, the Christian Kirks, the guys that know. I mean, I guess Christian Kirk's not the best example, but the 7 seed, Kenneth Walker, CDome saying, DK Metcalf, CDome saying, the 7 seed, no one thinks going to win. The studs on that team, you can one-off them.
Yeah.
Go scroll down on that one more time. So is it basically
he needs KC against Minnesota or Tampa, just the running backs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's not. I mean,
I don't think it's the winner, but that KC's really tough to get on Underdog. Like he showed it, and he got lucky being able to get Kelsey too.
And I see people in the chat like they're talking about like Noah Brown, Josh Palmer, Boston Scott. Unfortunately, in this format, there's just not enough rounds to go that deep. But in DK, you're going to need those guys.
Yeah, 100%.
This is only 10 rounds, and so you're very limited. So there's a lot of people here that, I mean, look, Brady didn't get picked, Gallup, Dobbins, Thielen, Walker. I mean, all these guys are gone on DK.
West Coast, I disagree. He said Tua's not playing, so Waddle and Tyreek picks are dead. I mean, they're what? They're 13-point dogs, going to be throwing all game, and Tyreek and Waddle are the only two going to be catching it. I mean, you can get plenty of garbage time and stuff there. Yeah. So I think they're just fine.
Quarterback situation there.
Probably Skylar Thompson, so it's gross. But I mean, if you're dropping back 40 times because you're down all game, it's only going to 2 guys. I mean,
I thought
in the last round, I'm good with them as one-offs.
I thought Bridgewater was going to start.
It might be Bridgewater. It's one of those
I mean, if it's Bridgewater, I like that more. But also too, I mean, Mostert broke his thumb, so
yeah, they have nobody.
Yeah,
it's pretty much just.
They're in trouble, man. Like that, and then they're going to be from behind. They're going to be throwing. So yeah, I mean, I have Tyreek in a lot of DK lineups because of that specific reason. Like one off, but he has the upside to get you 20, 25 points, and that's all I need from him. I only need him for a week. I don't need him for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. That's the mindset for sure with those guys. If one of them has a big week, they help you advance, and then you have the big dogs coming in for 2, 3, and 4. So no, it's interesting. It's a lot of fun.
Drew and Chet, so you guys be putting out rankings for this? I mean, literally rankings are so irrelevant in this because it's all about teams.
Yeah.
Like I took Hayden Hurst over like studs, Tyler Boyd over studs. I mean, once you know the first 2 rounds, 3 rounds, that's when the draft, like it's all about teams over players. So I think following the ADP right here for the rankings, I think it is a solid way to go. That's all I've been doing.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely about the.
Hey, no fan in chat.
Yeah, there we go. Going to be tough to get by Sweet Boy in the first round.
It's definitely going to be tough.
One quarterback build's totally fine because you're banking on that team to get to the Super Bowl. So if they get there, you're getting 4 rounds of a quarterback. You don't need 2. I mean, let's say title's all in on the Bengals. If the Bengals don't advance, that team's dead no matter what. So one quarterback's totally fine in these things for sure because you're banking on one team. If they don't get there and you have all the pieces, it doesn't really matter at that point. So
especially because it's a Joe Burrow. Like you can with Brock Purdy. I still try and get an AFC because I think there's more upside out there. A Joe Burrow, I'm picking that in the 5th pick in the draft. I mean, if he's not the highest scorer, I mean, my team's dead anyway. So McCaffrey, I've done 1 running backs with just McCaffrey saying it's 49ers making it. I think that's another way you can go. You obviously can't do wide receiver, tight ends though.
No. All right. Well, that wraps up the draft. So we'll go ahead and we can remove the screen. Oh, I not only removed the screen share, but also removed our guy title, which that wasn't very nice. But title's back. As we said, we got the partnership with Underdog. So if you click the link in the description or go to Underdog Fantasy and type in Run Pure, you'll get $100 deposit match on your first deposit. So make sure you take advantage of that. We're going to have one of these videos every day for the next 2 days. Thursday we'll have one. Friday we'll have one. I think we might have 2 on Friday potentially. So we're going to have drafts leading up to Saturday. We'll have all our content for both slates. DK broke it up, a Saturday slate and a Sunday slate. So we'll have content for both of those slates. We'll have shows, core plays, all that stuff. CDome, any final thoughts on the best ball playoff streets before we get out of here?
No, this was fun. It was nice doing like a live draft. I don't think I've done that before on a stream, so that was a lot of fun. It's nice to see like what other people are thinking, you know, and you get to really kind of formulate and kind of figure out how you want to attack this. But yeah, just keep in mind, I mean, you know, don't go all in on the Eagles and Chiefs, because then it just puts you in a position where you just don't have a chance at really winning the first week. One person moves on and that's it.
Yeah, yep. So it's very important to keep in mind when you're drafting these teams. And if you do go Eagles and Chiefs, make sure you load up on guys playing, you know, round 1. If you have too many guys that are sitting out round 1, you're in trouble. Title, any final thoughts before we get on out of here?
Man, it's very fun to do. It's a very busy time over here. That's why, I mean, I've did so many drafts in the summer with NBA right now, MMA back this week, a lot of time. Life's busy right now. So hopefully I'll get like the 60, 75 range. I'm hoping at Underdog. But anytime you do the drafts, like you have to be mentally engaged. It's fun. It's hard. It's a lot of strategy. Teams are dead right away. And I say dead. Of course, they can advance out of the first round. All of the money is in the last round. The 200K up top, it drops off so fast. You need to be live going into the Super Bowl. Even if you advance 1 out of the 172 teams, but you don't have any of the Super Bowl matchups, which will be plenty of the teams in there, you have no chance. It's not what you want. So you can get up after your draft. You can say, I have the Bengals. If they play this team, that team, I'm good. I am live. You did good in your draft. The names don't matter. So great time. We'll have shows on here every day. New coordinators talking their strategies. Good luck, sweet boy. Noel fan. It was fun doing these drafts. We'll be doing these the next couple of days. You guys can hop in. So, yeah, good luck in the streets.
Yeah, good luck in your best ball playoff drafts. Make sure you hit the like on this and also subscribe. We appreciate it. The shows will be free all week while we do these drafts. Make sure to tune in. We'll have tweets going out and notifications so you can be here. But good luck to everyone. We'll be back tomorrow with another Underdog Best Ball draft.